So here we are in the middle of Les Pierre Dorées in Beaujolais. We are 20 kilometers away from Lyon. This is the city of Morancé, where my family and myself settled about almost 4 years ago now. We used to live in Paris, before that in London, and we wanted to take a different direction for family and wanted to get back to something where we have a feeling of sense and control. And after a long journey, traveling, we decided that making wine was probably the best things for our family. So I trained to be a winemaker, we looked around, fell in love with the Beaujolais, got married actually in Beaujolais. And then after looking for quite some time, we found those vines here in Morancé, and we was really love at first sight. This is beautiful light, as you can see, beautiful hills, perfect for doing red and white wines. So that was really our coup de cœur. We aim at doing very accessible, simple wines that give pleasure to people. We like freshness, we like fruitiness, and this is what we train to achieve. Also, this is all about the way we do things, obviously. So one of our first decisions was to go organic. So it means not using any more chemical pesticides. It means working the soil to get rid of all the herbs and the competition coming from the grass. And that's a lot of time, but also quite gratifying to see when you can get rid of most of the unnatural things that prevent the soil of being lifeful, and to have all the little worms and the insects which are able to bring life to your vineyards, and then obviously after that to the wine. We want to reduce our impact on the nature and biodiversity. To us, nature should be doing all the job. So what we try to have is to have a diversity of vegetation. So this is really trying to create a balanced environment where you don't have only vines, but you have birds coming in the trees, birds are eating the insect, and so we don't have to use anything to get rid of the insect. So the point is really to let nature regulating all the environment. And this is obviously more technical, but also more exciting to be able to only guide nature and play with the weather rather than use all these kind of adjuvant or help from technology, which when you can refrain to use is always better. So biodynamic, agroforestry, which are very fashionable terms, but to us it's really also full of meaning, and we're looking forward to be able to work with that. Here we are at the center of the vineyard. It's almost 5 hectares in a one single block. So it's quite nice to walk, to observe. And here, as you can see, this is fall. The vine is going into sleep, losing slowly the leaves and getting ready for winter. All the nutriments, the energy is going to the roots and going to stay there for the whole winter until this is spring, and obviously nature will blossom again with new leaves and a new cycle. Next to us there is Christian, who is actually now preparing some of the baby vine, making sure that when we go with the tractor or we walk, we won't harm them, and they can go protected from all the hazards of the life of the work around the vine. We are in the wood barrels area. This is where we keep all our wines to age slowly and nicely during winter. So we use different kind of barrels. Some new one, like this one. This one comes from Burgundy. This is wood from Burgundy. And the point of having a new one is really to bring all the tannins from the wood. But we also use old wine. This is the 5th time he's seeing wine. And here we're only looking after micro-oxygenation. The point is to age the wine, but not to mark it with the wood test. And then at the end, we assemble the different barrels to get something balanced in terms of taste of food and oxygenation. So this is a 2021 vintage that was harvested about a month ago. And now what we want to do is that they finish a nice and smooth fermentation, that they take the wood taste and just, you know, grow in those barrels. Here you have some whites and we have some reds below, and this is already very drinkable. I'm going to show you. This is almost pure. It already smells a lot like wood, but this is only normal because it will age differently over time, and then the wood and the fruits will melt together to get something smooth and nice for next summer. Yeah, that's very good. Here is l'Héritière Rouge. So l'Héritière Rouge is our most fruitiest and fruitful wine. Here, this is what we really want is to have a feeling of harvest. So we bottle the wine very early in the season, so it really keeps the fruits, which also let us put as low sulfite as possible, which is also quite appreciable for this kind of wine. So here you're looking for pleasure. This is great with some saucisson from France, some charcuterie. Obviously, it will go well on meat, but also on fish because it has very smooth tannins, almost nothing. So it won't compete with the delicate taste of fish. Here with La Mer, we're looking at reaching balance between structure and fruit. So the grapes are harvesting in full. They will spend 10 to 12 days macerating, and then they will age in large tanks for 6, 8, 10 months, depending on the year and the kind of vintage we're looking at. Here we have also a balance between fruit, as I said, and tannins, so it's a bit stronger than, for example, l'Héritière. It will still go very well with all the charcuteries, meats, and fish, but maybe not all the most delicate fish, well, like very delicate white fish, because then here you have a bit more power, it's a bit more robust, and a bit more fullness. So here I'm testing the La Mer 2021, so still very young, but it's enough to say santé!